it's Lynette with Charmed Grammy Crochet. How are you today? I want to welcome you to my channel. My channel is a yarn channel. I crochet, I'm learning to knit. I have done Tunisian, but not very often. And I have nooked very little bit, but I don't care for that either. But I'm enjoying my knitting, and I definitely enjoy crochet. I've been doing that for a while. My husband and I live in this camper, and we have been traveling for the last, I don't know, almost year and a half. And so we do I said we do travel videos as well. Right now we are currently still in California, San Diego area. We'll be leaving San Diego in a couple of days. So I've been visiting with my good friend Mama Swift, Trisha, who happens to run Luck of the Draw, which is what my knitting or my crochet is about today. Luck of the Draw is, you can go to her channel and learn all about it, but you have different colored yarns that you number, and every week she draws a number 1 through 5, and she does this for 10 weeks. This one I am using 10 colors, so I'm doing 2 colors a week, but I'm only making a shawl, so it's gonna grow real long real fast, I think. But I couldn't decide on 5 colors that I wanted. I was remaking a project that I made a few years ago and donated, and I wanted one for myself, so I added a couple of colors. It was going to be a fall shawl wrap, and now it's an Arizona themed wrap, mostly the same colors, but I added a couple. So every week I do 2, and the pattern is from Crochet World from April 2022. It was supposed to be a blanket, the fading rainbow, which was real cool. I just like the stitch pattern. So every week I have a main color, which is the blue, and I started with 3 rows or 2 rows of the navy, and then I added carrot and cream because that was the number drawn that week, with 1 row of blue in between, and I'm doing 4 rows of the color of the week. So then blue, and the next week was purple and yellow, and blue in the middle, and then blue, and this week's colors were green, and this is burnt orange. And they're scrap yarns. Most of them were colors that I had in the previous wrap that I did. The blue definitely, the oranges, the yellow, the cream. I had a deeper purple, but because I'm going to a more Arizona feel to it, I went with the lighter purple because they get this beautiful purple in the sky sometimes. So I went with the lighter purple, and I added green because this is an Arizona green like you'd never seen. And the blue is the night sky, because in Arizona you see a lot of night sky. So these are the colors that I have used so far. So far, no repeats. My plan is if we get, or when we get a repeat color, I'm going to try to put it in the opposite direction of what it is this time. So I know this number won't be drawn again next time because she takes it out. So there's only 4 numbers in the little solo cup at the time of drawing, because last week's number is no longer in there. So if she draws this color's number again next week, then originally I went yellow then purple. My plan is I would go purple then yellow. Let's see if I remember that. I may or may not. And so these are the yarns that I used this week. This is the green. It is the classic. I got it from the Dollar Tree, the Red Heart Classic Value. I really like the yarn. Honestly, I really and truly like the yarn. The cream that I've used is the same yarn, but in a different color. The blue that I use is this Pound of Love in navy, and this is the burnt orange that I used, which this time, which is, I love this yarn. And as I said, these were mostly all yarns that I had in the previous, or shades thereof, that I had in the previous one that I made before. This is living in 2 separate bags because the yarns are so big and there's so many of them. The project, as I'm working on it, is in this bag I got from Trish that says, "This is my ball sack." And so the luck of the draw is living in that bag. The colors are all living in this big, huge Baby Yoda bag that I received from Anita. I believe Anita gave me that from Yarn Tails and Hooks. Hooks and Yarn Tails. She changed her name and I never get it straight now. She's a beautiful crocheter. She does a great job. Then the other project I wanted to talk to you about is living in this bag. Oh, don't you love it? Oh, the elephants. This bag is from, I got this one from Lynn, my good friend Lynn, who's a Zoom sister. This is not the crochet along, but the dishcloth one, right? Yes. There's a crochet along I do not have. Nope. I do not have the written pattern for. Well, I kind of do. But this is, I just want to knit a shawl by KN, Designs by KN. Lynanne and I are both doing this one as well. We talked about changing and doing something different than this one because it's very similar to the crochet along one that we're doing. But then we decided not to. We're just going to leave it. I am using a 5mm hook, or needle, circular needle. I'm using this yarn that I got at the local yarn store. I don't remember which one I bought it at. It is called Seashell, and it is a 3-weight, color number 103. And it's 100% organic cotton. And this will also be a wrap. But I had a problem with my cast on and it started falling apart. So I had to take it, I had to frog it. And with this one, I am able to use a yarn scrap that's a 3-weight. One tip is I've learned that it's easier to move your lifeline to reinsert it if you put it, string it through when you're on the cord versus when you're on the needle part. So I have added, Lynanne and I went over the recipe. We're calling it a recipe now because we've changed it. You do this eyelet section for a couple of rows. See it there? Now you can see it better. So you do this eyelet section for a couple of rows. You have the decrease and increase, re-increase, and then you have these 20 stitches in the middle, and then you have another eyelet section, and then you have your 10 stitches at the end. According to the pattern, then you're supposed, and you have a knit row in between. Then you're supposed to do something where you end up with the eyelet section just in the middle. That's not what the pattern looks like to Lynanne and I. And it definitely says that you have these 20 stitches in the middle. Like it's not, it doesn't look like what she says. Maybe it's just because we don't knit and we're not looking at the finished product correctly. But it doesn't look like that. I mean, it says you knit past all of this and you put them in the middle here. And you do that for an increase and decrease row. And then you put just knit stitches for a while. And then you repeat the pattern. Well, what I'm doing is I'm doing 4 rows of eyelet with a row in between, and then I'm going to do 4 rows of just knit. And I'm going to move my lifeline every time I finish a pattern repeat. So when I finished these 4 rows of the increase decreases of the eyelets, I moved my lifeline. Well, actually I moved it after 2 because I don't necessarily, I'm not very good at, I struggle. Let's just go with that. I struggle with the 2 togethers. So that being said, I don't want to have to frog past the 2 togethers if I don't have to. It just makes it easier for me. It only takes a second to move your lifeline up. I'd rather only have to frog back 1 section versus a whole bunch of sections, because I was way further on this the other day before it started falling apart on me. But I think it's in there better now. Trish helped me get my cast on correctly, and I'm using the lifeline more. I didn't even have a lifeline in it before. I don't know what I was thinking. Or, you know what, I did, but not where I made the mistake. I hadn't put the lifeline in yet, so I started using it earlier, and it's working out way better for me. Oh gosh, can't lose my cheat sheet of colors. And then I did work on my other knit project, or crochet project. This one is just because I want to make it. It is the opera wrap. I think I have it open here. The opera wrap. And it is a crochet project. I am using a 6mm hook, I'm pretty sure. Yep, I wrote it down. I'm using the 6mm. I am using a Caron cotton cake, which I have not gotten through one of yet, but I have 4 of them. I chained 400 to start. The pattern is, I believe, free. It was a gift to me, so but I think it was probably free on Hobie. But this is where you start with a ribbing for a sleeve, and then you wrap it around yourself. Wrap, 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 wrap. It's very large. And then you have ribbing for the other sleeve. And the yarn is wonderful. I'm sure you've heard of it before. If you've not ever worked with it, it really is nice yarn to work with. It has a really nice drape to it. It's heavy but light at the same time. Like, this does not feel heavy. I don't think it'll feel heavy on. I have not woven in ends. I had a knot. You know, I hate it when there's a knot in your skein, but I had a knot in the skein and I had to fix that. I take the knots out most of the time. So it's just, I did change this recipe just a little bit. It calls for every other row a row of slip stitches, and I'm not doing that. So I slip stitch the sleeve part because I don't want it to be too big, but then I am single crocheting the knot sleeve part where that would be the case. Then you have some double crochets and some cross stitches, and I am, I guess, at the beginning of the row. Yeah. Yep. I did put stitch markers in so I know where to start and end my sleeves. And you just crochet across every time. These stitches are larger, so it gets bigger at the wrap part than this. And I did try it on and it fits me. this, I think it'll fit me fine with my 400 cast on, or not cast on, but chain to start with. So I'm real happy with it. The yarn is the Caron Cotton Cakes, like I said, in the color Lighthouse. I wanted something pretty neutral and muted, and this one doesn't look as muted as the actual knitted up work does, but it is pretty muted colors, and it's got some grays, cream, like a gray blue, and a pale lavender, mauve, pink, I don't know. So it's real muted. It would, like, you could pretty much wear it with anything. Maybe not with this, but like it'll look really nice over this navy dress. It really brings the blue out in it. But I could wear it with many colors. So I'm real happy with that and the way that it's turning out. I'm not done with one skein yet, but I think I'll use at least 3 out of the 4 that I bought. And my other knit project. I knew there was something else. Here we go. The other knit project. Nope, I think this is not the right bag. No, it is. So this is the crochet along that is from a video from Fiber Flux. I am loving this. Now I did add, let me get another, oops, I didn't put this away. White paper to put behind it. I'm gonna put this away or I'll lose it. Here you go. Did add some eyelets. I know I don't like doing the two together. You gotta like really kind of stretch it out to see them. This will have to be blocked. Well, it's hard to tell. But there are eyelets in there. Even if I use my mouth, I can't get it stretched. Put it up. There are eyelets right there, and I am doing, this is supposed to be just knit across, but I took a piece of Grandma's dishcloth with eyelets and used that as a guide. Thanks, babe. Use that as a guide for putting in some eyelets. So I'm going to do, I did 48 rows, or 48 stitches anyway, across the top of just knit, and then I did the eyelet rows, and when I have 106 stitches on there again, I will do another 2 rows of eyelets, and that's going to be the pattern that I work going across, just to give it a little more flair. And I'm liking that idea a whole bunch, so that it's not too much like the other one. And that is where I'm at with all of my work. So I hope that you guys are joining us in the knit along. It is a lot of fun. You can post your pictures on my Facebook group page, on Lynanne's Facebook group page. You can email them to us. We are going to be live again on Lynanne's channel on Wednesday. It's coming up Wednesday. And you can ask questions. And hopefully we'll have some experienced knitters that will help us answer the questions. So please join us then on Wednesday. It's 4 o'clock California time, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So figure out where you are in the middle. And we will be on Lynanne's channel. Okay guys, I'm going to go. My breakfast is ready, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.